Hello, lovely patrons, and welcome back to the Lotus Café. I'm the proprietress, Empress Tiramisu, and today we've got another quick bite. If you're not familiar with the Quick Bite series, the Quick Bite series is a series dedicated to all of our brawl games in Predecessor, maybe some other smaller bites of other games here and there, but it is going to currently be post commentary. If you haven't seen the last video, I explained there that both that video and this one would be post commentary, but going forward, we are going to be looking at doing some live commentary. Now, for you here, I've got a lovely little Skylar game. This was my first time playing Skylar, and it was a trip. I will tell you that. In the beginning, you'll see that I tried to be a little quirky. I was like, ooh, I'm not gonna play her like the normal ADC. I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna do something a little fancy here. I'm gonna like use the assassin. This is like the second time I've like done a recording where I try to say crest and it comes out quest. I honestly think I'm being infected by Ulu speak, and I don't know where it's coming from. But anyway, I tried to be like fancy and quirky here, and I was like, ooh, let me get that assassin crest and try to do something a little strange for a piece of change. And yeah, don't do what I did. At least get one game of the character in their normal role before you start trying to do something a little quirky. Now, luckily, the team was pretty good. This is also one of those brawl games that again, if you haven't seen the last video, please go back and check that out. But this is one of those brawl games I was talking about where sometimes you go against a certain hero in brawl, and when you have to go against 5 of it is a nightmare. So in this video, because of the overlay again, I gotta make sure that I promise the next time we do another quick bite, the overlay won't be as egregious. But we were going against 5 wraiths. Wow, why does that seem so difficult and weird to say? We were going against 5 wraiths. And let me tell you something. Getting sniped in the back of your head probably 2 times and dying, not as fun as you think it might be. Which, if you think that's fun, I don't know about you. But yeah, you later on in the later on in the match, you'll see that like getting rewound one. Why am I having so much difficulty speaking? Getting rewound once and surviving is not enough, because you get rewound once, sniped, rewound again if you survive, sniped again, and you're most likely dead. At least in my case, in being Skylar. But I'm not gonna do like a full hero review or anything right now. But Skylar was actually really fun to play. It took me a moment to like figure out how to pilot her correctly. Like the controls were just a little bit strange, if you will. But once I kind of got the handle of her, I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of fun. Like, she's actually quite fun. And I'm so looking forward to her redesign, which, if you are not aware, because you don't play Predecessor or you don't follow, like, the Reddits or anything, Skylar is going to be one of the heroes, or she's a recent hero from Omega. She's one of their OGs, and there was like a whole like poll and thing where they have decided to redesign her due to community feedback. I'm assuming here, and so I'm excited. It's not going to be anytime soon, unfortunately. We probably won't see it until like I don't know. Throwing a guesstimation out there. Probably we're not going to see like a finalized version until maybe like February 2025. Well, you know, at the earliest. Latest, we might see something in March. But I look forward to the redesign. I like her current design, though. Again, I'm not going to like sit here and like do a full hero review, but just know that I really like her current design. I think it's cool. I think it just only needed a little bit of zhuzhing up, and then like it would have been perfect. But it's not my game. I'm not on the art team. I'm not the art team. It's out of I got to give it to the studio. But yeah, this match was very fun. In the sense that like when you go against a team of 5 certain heroes, it really does test your brain case on, okay, how do I adapt to such an abnormal situation? How do I handle being rewound, 3, 4, 5 times? You don't, depending on your hero. You don't. Maybe if you're a better player than me. Yeah. If you're not even maybe. If you're a better player than me, you could have some of these rewinds. You most likely could have survived so much better and probably gotten a kill. My butt, I flopped. So I'm not even gonna pretend to be like, oh man, I was the best player in that match. No, baby. Not even a little bit. Not even by a little bit. I was learning a new hero, and I was being quirky with my build. We're not going, not too much now. But outside of that, I really did enjoy the match because Skylar is a different take on the like ADCs that I'm used to playing. Which I mean, it's not like it's that many, but like, compared to Sparrow, where like normally I'm like, oh yeah, I'll sit back and like, probably farm the wave, and if I can get like a cheeky snipe in here, or rain of arrow if the enemy team is pushing us or something like that, you can do that. With Skylar's a little bit. The reason why I guess I should preface this with the reason I wanted to do something a little quirky is because from the gameplay that I've seen of her, I was like, ooh, she looks like she does pretty decent ability damage. And so I was like, okay, so why not try like something a little bit assassiny on her and see if we can get away with that with like our bouncing Q doing, buku amounts of damage, or the ultimate, if I can actually hit the ultimate, blowing someone up and see how that feels. And again, newsflash, if you're more experienced and a better player than me, you probably could have gotten away with it very easily. I was just, again, floundering. I was like, oh baby, I'm missing my ults, because I guess the best way to like play it is like, E up into the air and then ults. That way you have less chances of colliding with terrain. A couple of my ultimates went straight into terrain because I was not accounting for the incline. It's something that I'm still actually getting used to in this game in particular, because like in Smite, for example, there's not much in terms of verticality. The land is very flat. What blocks the majority of the time is like walls. So, getting used to a game where like there's some actual what's the word? What the heck is the word? The word for like there's like terrain. There's actual like terrain variants in the game. So it's something you have to take into account. It also is funny because like her Q. Because like I didn't expect the Q to bounce. Like, and I totally forgot that it bounced, even though like I'm pretty sure it says it. And I was like, oh, this is like a less like a denser version of Decker ball. I gotta be a lot better with like knowing where I can bounce it off of to still hit my target. But otherwise, I really did enjoy piloting Skylar for the first time, even in a chaotic environment such as this. And I think if I refine the build a little bit better, I think I'd get away with a lot more. But I honestly did enjoy playing Skylar. Like I don't know what else to really say about her without like, again, going into like a full deep dive review about it. I really did enjoy her. And I honestly think if you haven't played her yet, whether it's because like, oh, maybe you do have her but you just never had the opportunity to play her, I think you should give it a try. I honestly think, especially again, if you do play Brawl actively, there's nothing to lose in Brawl. There's nothing to lose in any of these games, really. If we're being honest, there's nothing to really lose, to then trying out a new hero. But moreover, on the actual match though, going against 5 wraiths, again, not really something that you would find fun as a squishy, because the getting hit by just the Q alone and getting primed, I'm actually curious if one wraith primes you with their Q and another wraith snipes you, does it still proc it? I didn't notice that during the match, but I'm actually very curious about that. If you know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that combo there, being queued and then like being queued by one wraith and then sniped by another and then rewound. If that didn't kill you, like you can see it here. Like I had to fight 2 of them and just being autoed and snipe. That snipe does a lot of damage. That's when they're building for that ability power, and they're not building like the typical like basic attack ADC like build. They're building like actual ability power build. That snipe is painful. It's damn near an execute if your health drops too low. As a matter of fact, I actually think a couple of them had Vanquisher, if I'm not mistaken. So it sure as heck was an execute, which led to a lot of my deaths. I think I ended this match at like 7 deaths or something. A lot of them being from like the whole rewind combo, which again, to be fair, they played it smart. They made sure to target the one person who would have trouble getting away. And it doesn't help that I was like I was pretty aggressive with it. Oh, something that it took me a moment to even understand too. You might have seen it at the beginning of this match. Was when I hit the right click. I thought the right click was like a hold. Like I thought you would like, okay, you know, press and hold the right click. No, you press the right click and then you left click because it basically modifies your basic attack. It took me a moment to be like, hey, why is my beam not? Why is the beam not beaming? I need the beam. And then I was like, oh, I'm supposed to hold the left click. Okay, that makes sense. I'm sure, you know, people with plenty of brain cells to bump into each other were well aware of that. I was not. But yeah, like my team handled it like a boss. My Yin especially. I think it was really cool having a Yin in the match too, because for the most part when she was alive and she was able to ult, it definitely gave us a fighting chance because Wraith has no way of countering her ult, and it's not like, oh, if she gets like rewound out of her ult it drops. Like no, you know, her ult is persistent, which is great, wonderful. And I'm actually curious how many like reflex she got, because I don't even know if you could react fast enough to reflect a Wraith right click, let alone like the Q. I'm pretty sure you could reflect pretty easily, but like I'm curious to know if she was able to like actually reflect a right click or two, which, you know, thinking about it now, when she ults and then they snipe into the ult and like obviously they're still like, usually when you're in the heat of battle you're not really paying attention like that, but like I can imagine they're like, oh no, and then like when she does the whip back after, like before her ult ends, it does the whip back and like sends all the shots back. I can imagine that's pain. That's absolute pain, getting blasted by your own right click. But you know, it is what it is. And then as we can see here, like I said, my build is very quirky. I was like Vanquisher, and I forgot the second item, and I was like Infernum and like a Sky Splitter for a little bit of attack speed in there, because like for some reason Sky Splitter is such a like, what would be the word here? Sky Splitter is such a nice little item. It's like it slots into pretty much any build, real nice, like very slick, very sleek, you know. And I like it for that, especially when I'm playing like a melee focused character, like even on somebody like a Crunch, right? Like you just love yourself a little Sky Splitter, you know, just on the top in there, like second, third item depending on who you are. Don't mind me building it. I think I built it 4th here. Don't worry about that. That's not what this is about. We're talking about Sky Splitter in and of itself. But yeah, so that's that on this match. I don't know what more to say other than I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day whenever you're watching this, and I hope it was satiating for you. Thank you for joining me for this quick bite, and I will see you guys next time. Don't worry.